Hey, what'd you bring over today, Scott? What is it?
Macallan, edition number 3.
Boom.
And say hello to number 2.
Say hello to my little number 2.
Let's take a look at both of them.
Let's test it.
Let's test it. One of the intros that we're not going to use, you point out these were Halloween colors.
Right.
Now, we're in Kansas.
Yes.
We've got edition number 2 and edition number 3.
Right.
Edition number 1 was not available in Kansas for whatever reason.
It's criminal.
It was brown. It was a dark brown.
Wow.
So he has like fall or
Yeah, they are.
colors.
Those are fall colors. You're right. The turning of the leaves. The turning.
Now this is really, edition 3 just showed up, was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday in the liquor store. I picked it up. I put it on Instagram. I've had several comments. Nobody has even seen this yet.
Which is why it moved to the front of the line.
And apparently somebody commented maybe the distributors weren't supposed to push it out to the stores yet.
They were supposed to wait till October 31st.
I don't know. We got it though.
So we're not saying where we got it.
No, we don't want to get nobody in trouble.
We got it at a dive smoke shop that just happened to have one.
It's just a liquor house down the street.
Yeah, it's called Liquor House.
Bootleggers.
It's called
Bootleggers.
Liquor House.
Yeah, a bootlegger, right?
A bootlegger?
Yeah.
The way you're breaking it up there, I say they're bootleggers. You're saying a bootlegger. Sounds like a whole different. Sounds like an airborne paratroop.
I couldn't think at first. I just spit something out, and then I was like, "Is that
bootlegger.
right?"
Yeah, and then I call it.
Do we want to pour both at the same time? We're going to kind of take a look at number
House.
3 first.
You know, we will do.
Number 2.
Yeah, we'll do an impromptu versus.
Because even on Instagram, a couple of comments already came in. How does it compare to edition number 2?
So we're going to do like an impromptu versus. I haven't had this since we've done the review.
Which glass? Let's use the Copita.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, this is.
I don't know if that's a Copita.
No, this is the glass for the cognac from Riedel.
Ah.
So that's a cognac.
It might
glass.
not work.
It'll work. Look at it. That's why I brought it out. It's darn near the same thing as a Glencairn.
Okay, well, let's take a look real quick at the edition number 3. It's bottled at 48.3%.
It might not work.
The glass.
Ooh, that smells good already.
It does. It's got a great nose. 6 different barrels are used in this.
Wow.
And this was done with the master whiskey maker, Bob Delgarno. The same as edition number 2, and I believe he did number 1 as well. But this one was done with master perfumer Roha Dove.
Wow.
The red dove. And I suppose a master perfumer has a master nose.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Remember when the Whiskey Advocate had, it was like a tea blender, a perfume mixer, a whiskey noser, and they had one other one. What was the other one? Coffee?
I don't remember, but yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
You feel me?
Yeah. Okay, so 32% of this is from a hogshead, 31% from a butt, 30% from a puncheon, 7% from a barrel. We've got first fills, we've got second fills, we've got European oak, we got American oak.
They got like a pie chart done in oak style. You're going to have to do photos of that.
The first cask they list on here is Hudosa Butts. Brings out fresh cut oak and citrus, and that's American oak. Second, refill Butts with European oak and American oak. Brings out a dry floral and a vanilla. First fill Tevasa Butts and puncheons, European oak for a rich fruitcake. First fill bourbon hogsheads with brings out a sweet crisp green apple. First fill Tevasa hogsheads, European oak, brings out orange and burnished oak. And first fill bourbon barrels, vanilla ice cream and light spice.
It's like I've had a whole meal.
Yep. Now I gotta say I was impressed with edition number 2.
You were?
Yes. So I knew when I saw this I had to get it.
Boom. You just pulled the trigger.
Now, I did take some notes. I tasted this. You are doing this impromptu.
That's right. Never even seen it. Laid eyes on it just now. Nosing it for the first time. Have yet to taste.
Kind of still seems like our focus is off a little bit. I can't tell on here for sure. Nose is very strong.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it seems stronger than 48%. A nice floral.
I get a few things. I get a floral, but then I get almost like a sweet sponge cake.
Nice citrusy vanilla. Apricots.
Uh-huh.
Oak.
Yeah, it's. I was almost going to say orange, but it's more apricot than orange. Really, really sweet too. It's like a sugared apricot or like a dried apricot. Yeah.
Like a dried apricot
With
and
sugar
on it.
Yeah, sugared.
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 Really is a good nose.
This nose
Creamy,
is just
creamy
great.
caramel.
Really?
When we get done, I'll do the Scotch Gods shout out when we finish
okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, we got excited.
Yeah.
We did. The nose on this is just so nice. I could nose this. You know, we tell some of our friends that I could literally taste and nose and spend an hour with an ounce, and they're all like, "What?" I could do it.
I can
with
tell
this
you,
one.
I'm going to need just a little touch more because this is good. Like I said, nice, creamy, rich caramel, vanilla, rose petals, and rose petals that really reminds me of a sherried, Oloroso sherried Irish whiskey. Somehow, those rose petal floral notes that come out with an Irish sherried
Like triple
whiskey.
distilled.
A little bit of those rose petals are present here. Nice spices, cooking spices, cinnamon and ginger.
Okay. I pick up ginger.
And we're still at 48% here, and it's
Wow,
pretty stinking
that
good.
is very smooth. Well, I'll let you go in rather than we both sip at the same time. Beautiful color. Does it say no added color? No chill
I do not believe it denotes that or not.
Okay.
I don't think Macallan adds color though. Maybe they do. The 48.3% should indicate that's too high for it to be chill filtered. Drop of water. Now I do have in my notes too that it's really full on the palate, and that it reminds me. Some people are going to argue about what the age of this is because it's a non-age statement. Some people are probably going to tell you it's 8 to 10 years. To me, it feels 12 to 15. It feels a little bit more aged.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it feels. I think it's pulling it off that's a little bit older. I got raspberries with water and a cream puff, a croissant. Kind of that light, fluffy bread with the cream puff center.
Wow.
It reminds me of, it also reminds me I've got a Gordon and MacPhail 15-year-old Linkwood that it kind of reminds me of as well. Now I will tell you, there's not as much sherry here.
I call that the other drop option.
The other drop. Oh yeah.
Inside, you got to be almost a super Scotch god to know what I just said there.
I just lost one of my Jesus boots.
When the little Jesus flipper came off. I rarely do I catch you.
I was saying about the sherry. Not as much sherry. I love sherry.
Right.
I expected more sherry. There's not as much. I think the bourbon casks and the hogsheads. This is more like the Macallan Fine Oak series. Now, still delicious. I was disappointed there wasn't more sherry, but not disappointed by the Scotch. So I want to see what edition number 2 brings in, if it has more sherry. Even though it was the same, it was definitely had some lighter citrusy vanilla notes. But this is still darn good.
Wow.
Now the Macallan edition number 2 was done in conjunction with the Roca brothers.
What's your function?
Roca.
Conjunction.
What's your function? Who own a world famous restaurant.
Right. Because there was 3 brothers.
Yeah, 3 brothers.
I remember we joked about the youngest one.
I don't
know
remember.
if we joked, but we said something about the youngest brother. I don't remember what we said, but
Pretty similar colors.
you know, ever since you found a Compass Box Peat Monster and had me try it, and that was when we were rookies, and I totally prejudged it by its paleness. Color almost means nothing to me.
Yeah, it does mean nothing. But I knew somebody's going to ask what
Sure.
the color is compared. I was just looking since they were both the Macallans.
I mean, it's
Number
fun
2
to
and number
describe.
3.
But
That's one thing we don't take into. Some people take that into
I know they
consideration.
go
their
into,
score.
you know, I could care less about
Yeah.
the color.
In the glass, well, maybe it's just because it's that glass. The
Looks
edition
like it's
number
darker.
2 looks darker. Maybe it's just because
It looks
of
a
the
little darker
Glencairn.
here to me too,
Does it?
just a bit. But I mean,
Now, like number 3 at 48.3,
wow, this is better.
the number 2's at 48.2, so 0.1%.
Let me try one more puzzling of flavor here. I do have a drop of water. There's a lot of soft oak notes in the flavor. I do get the cream, the caramel, and you're right. There's almost, I don't want to say a grain, but it's almost when you described it as like a more delicate pastry, like a baked French pastry. I don't know about the cream inside, but I do see where you get that because it's almost like a hot roll that's come out of the oven, and that first flavor you get when you bite into it. No butter for me, but
These are 2 different whiskeys.
I haven't
I
tasted
already
it,
took a
but I
little
can tell
sip.
you the nose. Wow, that nose here is just. I both can. I can nose these.
yeah.
I love the nose. I think on both of them, but they're very different.
I'm getting more fruits and more spice.
Yeah, I get a little spice, but I get like a liquid cane sugar.
The number 3 was more vanilla, more citrus, and oak maybe. Compared to, I do get a little bit of the sherry on the nose with the edition number 2. You're really deep into it.
Well, there's a subtleness to them, you know. And here's one of the deals. I've been really hitting the bourbons lately, and what I like about scotches in general are the longer age in general, the subtler changes that happen. You know, I know all the different barrels and things they've used, but it's still it's like a delicate dram.
Now I had mine out, if someone brings up, we kind of poured these and we got right into them. I had mine out yesterday when I bought it, and I got home and tore it open and had one. And it sat there for 30 to 40 minutes. I didn't notice that much of a difference with it getting air.
Okay.
with the number 3. I wish we had the number 1.
Well, Macallan, make it right.
Oh, these are annual releases.
I know. You know they got some.
Now, if you remember on the inside of the box for number 2, they said wait for edition number 3. And on the inside of the box for edition number 3, they've got edition number 4.
What do they tell you about it?
A new selection of exceptional oak casks will be chosen to create next year's edition. Join the discussion on hashtag Macallan Creates.
Well, we're going to be around doing this when they're on edition 12.
Yeah. Well, all lined up.
Yep, but I would hazard a guess that they've held on to a few of the number 1s, and they may send one. Maybe not.
Number 3 comes off a little bit more delicate, a little softer, a little bit more vanilla, not as much sherry.
Yeah.
The edition number 2 has the sherry in it. It's got the kitchen spices. A little bit stronger. I mean, edition number 3 brings that as well.
I get the sherry there. I don't get a sherry on number 3.
Sherry is very light. I got some raspberries at one point, and that was about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a red, darker fruit.
Yeah, just a hint.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with
not
you there.
much.
I don't know if I would have puzzled that out, but yeah, I was thinking darker red fruit. But you're right. It's almost like a raspberry ice cream where it's got a little bit of the creaminess with it.
Or like a vanilla ice cream with raspberries.
Sure. Yeah.
Occasionally
Yeah,
get
you dropped a few of them. Organic.
Yep. Both very good. Both, stand on their own.
They got a hologram. Those green holograms just like glowing. I mean, when you look at it different, it just, I don't know. What are they doing with that? It's kind of, I've never seen the hologram on the label like that.
I'm going to change where I said they're different whiskeys. They're not that different. They are a little bit. They are a little bit.
Well, you can tell they're from the same family.
Right.
And the subtleness there for me is the interest. But you're right, there's no, especially the way you love sherry. I'm not getting sherry on the number 3 here. I know I said it.
Well, and like I say, not having as much sherry in there was disappointing to me. Was not disappointed by the whiskey overall.
No, there's no disappointment here.
I'm one that I love Macallans. I love what they do. I love sherried scotches. 2 was good. I picked up 3. And like I say, disappointed that there wasn't more sherry, but not disappointed by the whiskey at all.
Scotch Gods shout out a little late.
You gonna score? Do we want to score it first? Or you're gonna do the Scotch Gods shout out?
Let's do the Scotch Gods shout out, and then we'll score.
Go back to the live stream we did with Foodquig.
Really? Going all the way back then?
Well, the comment just came in.
Really? Love that. A lot of binge watchers.
Zeph Plaston.
Zeph. Great
Sounds
name.
like Snake Plissken's cousin.
Sure.
Zeph Plaston.
Yeah. It was like he was an escape from Chicago.
Yep.
Or Detroit.
His comment that gets the shout out today. Is Scott a hillbilly? This is in the Foodquig video with you wearing a cowboy hat with a manga shirt.
That's right.
And Foodquig gets his bolo tie,
his bolo
cowboy hat,
and you're the one pegged.
And I'm the hillbilly.
As the hillbilly.
That's all I gotta say.
Sometimes you break out a little bit of the hill. You'll break it out, and you'll throw in a was where it could be a where.
You know, I saw that comment come in, and I'm like, really?
We were drinking some of that, and you might say we was drinking some of that.
I'm the hillbilly.
I think
out of that video.
Who called that?
Zeph Plaston.
Zeph's spot on. Zeph has like a well-trained ear. I bet he's a musician. I think he's a musician.
I'm giving the Macallan Edition 3 a 92.
I'm going to give it a 90. It's subtle. The oak isn't at all overbearing. It's just there. The cream, the caramel, that pastry note that you put in there, that really does linger. I'm glad you described it in that fashion. I'm not sure. I was just thinking bread. And at first I thought grain, and I thought, no, it's not the grain. It's not the malted grain. It's a bread. And then when you described it as a more delicate bread of a French pastry.
That's right.
And that kind of put her up for me. But both of these, I've been hitting myself over the head with strong bourbons and Islas lately. And so coming into these is definitely a more contemplative exercise.
Is it worth it? Same as the other editions have been $110, $120. Yes.
Yeah, it's a limited experience. I mean, let's be honest. What you're buying here is an experience, as well as the juice that's in the bottle. So the question to me is, as we've had these, is it simple marketing? Are they just marketing an NAS? Or is it an experience on top of it? Because let's be honest, it's a marketing tool, but it's also a pleasant experience.
We'll go back even when I poured your drink and you could smell it.
Right.
You sat there and nosed it.
I did.
You could nose that it's got a great nose on it. It's got a great palate. A lot of notes coming out. And like I say, it seems a little bit finer, a little bit smoother, a little bit more refined than the number 2. Number 2 a little bit spicier, a little bit more sherry.
It belonged in my cognac glass.
That was good.
So yeah, I think it's worth it. What year did you think it was again?
I think it's 12. The combination of the casks is probably.
I think they'd tell you. I think there's going to be some older casks in there, but I think there's a 4-year-old in there.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Just a bit.
No.
Yeah. I think they found a real nice 4-year-old.
I'll bet you there might be some 8 to 10, but I'll bet you the majority of it is 12 to 15.
Well, if I made them mad, then I apologize and send that original number 1. I don't know. I don't pick up harshness or rawness. But I'm thinking, I'm just saying, I think if they had a 12-year-old in there, they'd throw 12 they'd throw the year right on the bottle. So they're going to, with the NAS, there's definitely some older spirit in here, but there's some younger in there too.
I don't think you can say definitely.
Well, I can't because I don't really know.
Right.
Possibly. I'll stand corrected.
There's a good chance, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it's possible. It seems that way to me. I'm not saying it's a lot.
Here's the Macallan 12-year-old, $50. So this is running 110 to 120, more than twice the money.
I really do like that too.
Yep.
It is twice the money.
So you think it's a majority of it is 4-year-old?
No. I don't think a majority of it is. No.
Yeah, I know.
No, and I'm probably way off. I'm just saying.
Who knows? It comes off to me with its mouthfeel and the richness of it, that it's got a little bit of age on it.
Yeah, is it, I'm talking about, I guess, you literally just brought this over, I haven't seen it. It's not a blended. So what they're basically doing is moving a single malt through multiple different styles of casks. Well, is that right?
A single malt means it comes from one distillery.
Right. Well, yeah.
So they can distill one batch and put some in these barrels, distill another batch, put some in other barrels.
Right.
Move it, or maybe move those around, or distill other batches.
Right. There's no grain alcohol in it. That's where the blendeds usually have a grain alcohol. Right. It's all single malt.
Yep.
Yeah, character single malt is an exploration, so it's all from one distillery.
Right.
And they've moved it around. So,
Vatted. Vatted would be
Right.
I believe the
I need to go back to it because you're right. Well, see, I got to go remember it. Oh, is it vatted? I know what you're saying because when they reconfigured all the names, they came out with vatted, basically saying that. I thought vatted was them taking two different single malts and blending them together was the vatted. I think that was the distinction: is two different single malts being brought together.
It'd be like the
vatted.
double single.
Yeah, I know. See, that's all.
Hey, let's do the traveling dummies. We're coming up on our
So traveling
dummies.
Aquavitae sent us a picture.
That's Roy.
That's Roy. We'll end up throwing that in there. This is in Glasgow. This is on like a little brick or cobblestone street that is lined by buildings on either side and what looks to be almost like what we would call a restaurant row. There's chairs, there's tables. He's got the white side of his cast 2 coin in his left hand. Right? Yeah, it is left hand, and it's just shooting right down.
There's probably some coffee
the
shops
street.
in there.
Right, maybe a little hookah lounge.
Red light district.
Oh, I don't know about red light, but you know.
Probably a couple bars, whiskey bars and stuff like that.
Sure. Fine. There could be a sushi bar tucked away in the corner.
That's
You
right.
would dig that. That's right. A little hay right around
With
the corner.
whiskey.
That's right. So that was a nice one. Now I was going to say I think I've got, including this, there's 3 different traveling dummies photos I've gotten in. We could use some more. You can use your coin, cast 1 or 2. You can use a shirt if you're wearing a shirt. So if you're even in your local town, we'd love to see whatever the local cool thing is in your town. Look at that. Nothing going on here. You know, Brandenburg Gate, Eiffel Tower, part of the Berlin Wall, whatever. You want to throw those in. Anything else?
Nope.
No more red light districts.
Send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Email them to us.
I've gotten a ton of emails in. Well, this will be a lot of emails were on the contest. I'm going to announce the winner of the diamond glasses on our live show, which has already aired live after this one posts pre-recorded.
Okay.
So enough said there. Scotch it, you Scotch.
Hey, watch too. There's we got a fantasy football league. There's 12 teams. It's all YouTube reviewers. We're going to be pitting it up against each other. The winner gets to claim King of the Mountain.
I'm not in this.
No, it's like the Scotch Test Dummies have a team. So yes, you are.
Really?
The Scotch 4 Dummies is in there. Malted in Montreal. It's Bourbon Night.
And we're drafting players, or what are we doing?
Well, it might be. I haven't decided yet. Might be computer automated draw. But yeah,
Interesting. Scotch it, you Scotch Gods.
Cilantro, dummies.